Today we are going to be doing a painting of monochromatic mountains. So get ready. So you're going to want to grab your largest brush and paint back to front. So that's usually the way that you want to do it. And we're just going to get a little bit of blue onto your brush.
Okay.
And dab a tiny bit of white on there as well. So we're going to start at the top and we're going to work our way down. And we're just going to paint a sky that softly fades.
You're a bit faster than I am.
To a slightly lighter color. So when you go back to your palette, dip into a bit more white. And that's going to create a gradient. And you only want to paint, I would say, about 2 or 3 inches down from there. The next thing that we're going to do, once you have about, I don't know, 2 or 3 inches down from the top, we're going to put that big brush aside and grab a smaller brush and dip that small brush into a little bit of water. So scoop a bit of water onto that brush. And then we're going to gather some blue, just straight blue. The reason why we're doing that is we want it to flow nicely. So the water's going to make it a little bit more fluid. And we're going to do a bit of sketching with the brush.
Okay.
So I'm going to take that brush and I'm going to paint a zigzag line, which is my mountain ridge line, that goes into the sky area. So I like to hold my brush really light and loosely and paint a wobbly zigzag line. And the nice thing is whenever you're painting something from nature, it doesn't need to be perfect. You actually want to try to avoid the perfect
It's
patterns.
far from perfection, don't worry. Okay.
And then we're going to do another mountain range line that's a little bit closer. So again, we're just going to do a zigzag line slightly lower than that first one. And try not to do the exact same line as the previous one. Our brain will want to follow that same pattern. So you have to go against what your brain's telling you to do. And then we're going to do one more mountain ridge line. So this one can be a bit more jagged if you want to, or it can be more subtle peaks and valleys. It kind of looks like a heart monitor line, but you wouldn't want your heart monitor to look like this. To kind of finish off the base of the painting, we're going to make it look like there's the bottom of a mountain. So I'm just going to paint a diagonal line from one side down to the bottom.
And then the second one?
The second line's pretty much the same. You're just drawing a diagonal line from one side down to the bottom or wherever it hits that other line. So that's all of the drawing that we're going to do, or quasi-drawing. So you can put that small brush away for now. And you're going to want to use a medium-sized brush, whatever you have on hand. It may be the same one that you were using, whatever works.
Okay.
Scoop a bit of white onto another area of your palette, a clean area. And we're going to take a bit of blue and mix it together to create a really light blue. And then we're going to add a tiny little drop of black, the tiniest, smallest amount of black to gray the mountain color. Using that color, we're going to paint that farthest mountain range. So you can cover up your line that you drew or you painted. So essentially the reason why we are doing this mountain range light and blue is because when things recede in the distance in a landscape setting, the atmosphere tends to add a blue tinge to things. So next time you look at the mountains, you'll notice that the farthest range has a bit of a misty blue quality to it, and they're usually quite light and they lack distinction and detail the farther they are away from you. So we're pushing these mountains into the distance essentially. All right, so for the next set of mountain ranges, or the mountain range, we're going to do the exact same thing, mix a new color. You don't even need to clean your brush, you're all right. But we want this one to be slightly darker. So you're going to use a bit more blue and a tad more black. And you can cover up that original line that you drew, and
Oh, okay, interesting. All right.
it's up to you though. Like it's kind of a stylistic choice. So if you wanted that line to separate the mountains, it's more of an illustrative look. And then we're going to continue the exact same thing that we did with the other mountain ranges and just go darker with a darker shade of bluey gray black and paint that next mountain range.
So we're going slightly darker, right?
Yep, the exact same kind of step that we took for the last ones. Slightly darker and put it on really thickly to create some texture.
I want to manage expectations. There's no expectation here, right? Like this is just
No
a piece.
expectation.
All right, just making sure. This is not going to be displayed on my Instagram feed or something.
You can always Photoshop it or something.
If you do it quick enough, like you can do a creative expression like break, in your day type of thing. Like you could probably say, okay, let me just go take 10 minutes and go paint something and come back.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like reading or maybe doing like a puzzle or something for some people because you really can just disconnect from everything else that's going on in the world and just focus on one task. And if you really think about it, your brain is making so many little minute decisions, like where to put the brush stroke and how much paint, and so you're strengthening your brain for sure.
Totally. I'm done.
So for the next one, we're gonna go darker this time. Surprise, surprise.
I don't know if I can go any darker. Like I almost went to a black last time. Okay, let's see.
So it'll almost be black, but it won't be black. It'll almost be black. And we're just gonna paint these two last sections. And you know what? A lot of people find it intimidating to have the white of the canvas, so it's almost like an accomplishment just to get rid of all the white.
Both sides, right?
Yep, both sides. Okay, let's add the tree in the foreground. I think it'll have a nice impact for a final step.
Okay.
All right, so to add the tree in the foreground, grab your smallest brush and we're just gonna mix a bit of water with black so it's a bit more liquidy. If yours is already pretty runny, you can just use it as is.
Yeah.
And then this is where it takes some guts. You just gotta place a vertical line anywhere on your canvas that goes right through the entire painting. So start somewhere in the sky and just lightly drag a vertical line down through the painting.
Okay.
All right, so that's going to be the tree trunk. And then we're just going to add some branches by flicking outwards from the top and then working our way down. And the key with this is try not to make it too even or too perfect and keeping your hand and brush really light and loose. And as you move down, the branches are going to get a little wider and you want them kind of moving in different directions as well. If you're finding it's picking up some of the paint, just keep loading your brush up with black. And because it's black and it's this silhouetted tree, it's going to really punch it forward.
Except that mine looks like there's a bunch of crows that are hanging off a tree instead of branches.
If you don't like the look of the kind of sparse looking tree, you can always fill it out almost like a Christmas tree. It's really depends on what you're going for. You can add some just some branches that have no leaves on them. Whatever you think will balance it out.
I think I've hit my maximum branch allocation.
How's it going?
Yeah, okay. Okay. I mean, it doesn't look like yours, but I think I have a tree with branches.
Nice.
Or a stick with crows.
That is a very quick painting.
Oh, you can't see my painting.
No, I can't see it. No.
Oh, so you have no idea what I've been doing this entire time.
Complete mystery to me.
Here I thought you were actually like making sure I wasn't screwing up. So basically this could be completely off and we're all going to be in trouble now.
It's strange not being able to see the artwork as it progresses.
I'll show you yours. Okay, here. This is what it looks like.
Very nice. You know what? I love how light it is behind that first mountain range. It really looks like the sun's like rising or something. It's really nice. Really
I did
moody.
like the white part of the canvas there. Not that it was intentional, but now that it's there.
That's impressive in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, see? Well, there you go. Well, thank you, Cailey. That was really fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
I feel like we should do this more often. Maybe like, in a couple weeks.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, awesome. Cailey, thanks so much for teaching me how to do this. I feel like even I have some artistic talent. So that's awesome. Thanks very much. And really appreciate your time and your natural love of this subject.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun. I really appreciate you guys having me.